It's the breaking of day, and it's another edition of What Conversations with Cornelius. I am your host, Cornelius, with the lovely Nicole, and we are here because our perspectives are totally changing. And we've
Yeah.
changed the perspective as it relates to background and backdrop. Usually we are in the office. Today we are in sanctuary. We lift our heads in the sanctuary. Ha. We lift our heads. So changing perspective. We're changing our perspective. We will be right back with Cornelius and Nicole, Arne and Nicole, Nicole and Arne. How many? Very Chantel and Cornelius.
Yeah.
How many things do we have as it relates to our names? We need to make sure that we incorporate that into the show. Well, welcome again. Peace and blessing. Welcome to Conversations with Cornelius. I am your host, Cornelius. Today, you will be engaged, entertained, and educated. Stay tuned. You are about to be CC'd. It is Conversations with Cornelius. All right, we're back. Perspective changes from 1 degree to the next. So, 2017, your perspective changed. 2002, your perspective changed. 14 years ago, your perspective changed. I'm just trying to develop this timeline of changing perspective. 1996, leaving New York, coming to the South was a change in perspective.
It was culture change.
Culturally,
North, South, yeah.
yeah. Have you adopted, or just? I know you are adjusting well because you put up with me.
I am, because I'm a believer that you need to respect the new places that you go to. Like, I can't come here and expect the people of the South to act like the people of the North.
We're not.
No.
So, and I'm not apologizing.
I know. So I try to acclimate the best way that I can. Some things are innate, I can't change them, but for the most part, I try to just fit in and do what I do.
It's interesting on some occasions that you and I casually run into people while we out doing the work, and I automatically start talking.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at shirts, I'm looking at shoes, I'm studying body language, and I use that as the precursor of conversation, whereas opposed this Yankee just walks right past people.
I smile, I say hi.
No, you don't even say hi.
I do.
No, you
now
do
I'm gonna have
not.
to point it out.
Please do.
I do.
And we will work on, I promise you, listen, honest, we will work on her lack thereof. Her social grace, we're going to upgrade it. Can we say that?
I do. I smile at everybody and say hi.
No, you do not.
I do.
When did you smile last?
Yesterday, when I
just
went
saying.
out, I smiled at people that were walking past me.
For real.
I do. It's
Okay.
common courtesy.
It's common courtesy.
I believe in that.
So we're back. We're doing what we do best. Y'all have conversation. One of the things we might not do it well enough for you, but we do it well enough for us. Changing our perspectives of truly beginning to change. Let me say that. I gave a quick chronology: 96, 2000, 10, 11, now Nashville, now Catholic Charities, all of those things. And there's a lot of things, but those are your experiences, so you can easily tap into them. Walk me through at least one of them and how it shifted your perspective. And then we will get into the life of your favorite. Is Paul your favorite other than Jesus?
I think so.
Yes.
Because I feel like he just provides a lot of instruction for how to live my spiritual life as I prepare for heaven.
What?
I do.
Okay.
You look disappointed.
I'm not disappointed.
Okay.
Talk. Which one?
We'll do the most recent. So the
Okay.
most recent change in perspective for me was 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 2016. My family and I were in a car accident.
Wow.
A very serious car accident where we all should have been dead, actually. We were actually on our way to a funeral. And you look back at it, you're thinking, wow, we were going to a funeral and there could have been another funeral for 5 to 7 people. So walking away from that accident, I realized, as we all know, but don't really conceptualize till it happens to us, how easy it is for us to lose our life, like in an instant. And just understanding all the different things that I was putting off At that time, I realized I didn't have as much time as I did to do the things I wanted to do. So at that time, I was thinking, I just started doing a ministry at my church in California for foster care and adoption. That was very near and dear to me.
And you will slow down because you
Talking
I
like
can
a
walk
Yankee.
right. I can watch your hands in action, but your tongue too fast
Yes.
might rhyme.
So
You were doing ministry.
I was doing ministry
with adoption.
Yes, in California.
Interesting.
And that ministry was taking off, but I felt led to move to Huntsville, even though a lot of things were taking off for me at that time.
Become Southern. Become a Southerner.
Yes.
Become
but
a Southerner.
I believed that God, I prayed for a sign. He gave me that sign.
Mhm.
And so I knew that I had to go.
Mhm.
Interesting thing is, when, when I made that commitment, it's almost like the enemy kept putting things in front of me to try to make me change my mind. All the things that I wanted before started happening. But because I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is what God wanted me to do, I just moved forward and did it anyway. But there was still this delay of moving forward more into the social services aspect versus doing business. After that accident, I said, all those things that you put off, your talents, your desire to help others, you can't say, I have 5 years, 7 years to start that. You need to do that now. So within, the accident was in May. That August, I'd already enrolled in school to do my MSW. And
That
it's a
was
constant,
a
and it was a constant reminder.
That was a lie. I'm trying to chew. I'm trying to process what you said or stated. Wow. The correct, what then you said, the enemy. Like the enemy, allow me to say this without blasphemy or backlash.
Mhm.
The enemy became a tool of confirmation.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, at what point in our walk and we become more resilient emotionally that we can actually say the enemy becomes a tool or vessel of confirmation because he kept trying to distract me or redirect me or give me detours or other options. I think that is a real place where transformation can take place in a lot of people's lives if we have the conversation and we open to have it. Now, allow me to just slip in the back door. Will you allow me that?
Slip on you.
The enemy was used as confirmation in Jesus' life when he gets to the temptation wilderness experience.
Right.
So now I'm seeing that the enemy can potentially become a tool of confirmation if we allow our perspectives to shift from he's still going to be the boogeyman to me because of our Christian religion and tradition, but also helping me navigate some of those things. I can finally say, hey, I thank you, God, for allowing that to happen and Satan being part of that because it pushed me and propelled me into purpose. That's what I'm saying.
No, absolutely. It's like I was telling you the other day how I've observed with people that I interact with where they would not have made certain steps had obstacles not been presented. So I think there are those situations where he has to come in and just, he does what he does for us to even be open to whatever it is that God wants us to do, because sometimes we're just going to sit and not move. My accident, I survived, but I might have just been sitting on what it was I needed to do anyway. Does that make sense?
It makes all the sense in the world to me. Oh, excuse me. Listen, audience, does it make all the sense in the world to you? I mean, that your shift in perspectives comes through an accident. The shift in perspective in my life when we were teenagers comes through an accident. So we both understand how traumatic events shift our perspective. Now, if in my Southern roots, and if Big Mama, Grandmammy, my Mary, Grandmama, then were here, I'm going to give you something to change her mind.
Right.
I gotta, They might not have said it as eloquent as you and I,
Right.
but they had some get right.
They did.
Oh, it was a get right. Get right, church, and let's go home. And then they would tell you, go lay down. I'm still trying to connect in your terms, the investigative judgment of our no, not from a theological Adventist standpoint, but the judgment of our foreparents, and then go lay down. Like what? You just whooped me. Right. That was judgment. The judgment has fallen.
Stop crying.
Yeah, and go lay down. I mean, I could never figure that out. So if anybody in the chat wants to help me figure that out, my Aunt Valerie, please put in the chat. This is what that meant. This is how this connected. This was a change in perspective. I would really appreciate that. Now, you moved from New York to Huntsville. No, Huntsville for college.
Yes.
For college.
Yes.
Change in perspective. And we have to get into this Paulinian passage. I'm trying to get there, y'all, but Nicole is like long-winded. And she always wants to take the long way around. That lets me know when they let them out of Egypt, she was one of them that was released. I want to go the short way. She wants to take something 14 days, took 40 years. So we're dealing with the 40-year thing over here.
Goodness. Go ahead.
Moving south, changing perspective. Talk to me.
I mean, that's mostly just college. You're moving from adolescence to adulthood. I will say that I noticed a difference in not my personal spirituality, but just how people did things church-wise. Yeah. So
church-wise.
Yeah. In the North, I felt that I felt it was like a little bit more conservative than it was in the South. And that was fine. I adapted to that very easily. But anything else was just more about, well, also just discovering who you are and what you believe in, just in general about life. And that's anybody in that space in life around that time, because you're now on your own.
Okay. On my own. I know she doesn't listen to secular music, y'all. You really don't, do you?
I do.
I do. Okay. Okay. It's good. We just, entertain, educated, all of those things. Empowered, equipped. That's what we do. So engage. Talk to me. So church was different. What was different about church in the South? Same Jesus, same cross, same blood, same communion, same cup, same wine.
It wasn't that. It
was
more,
what was it?
It was more like practices. Like
what was it? What
things.
Was it? I want to know.
Little insignificant things like in New York.
Oh, it's insignificant.
It is insignificant.
Oh, it's really insignificant.
It is.
Really?
But I'm going to share it in a very short version.
Hold on, it's insignificant.
It is.
We're going to downplay. Are you downplaying my culture?
No, this is not even your culture. This is just culture in general, I would say. Okay. So, for instance,
she cleaned that up
in New York, when I would go to church, you're a little bit more formal in how you would dress versus when I was down here. So, like in New York, back in the day, with your dresses, stockings, shoes. Here, I saw, people don't always wear stockings to church. Just little things like that. Nothing very serious because, like you said, same God, same belief system. It's just lifestyles are different. That's all. Nothing serious.
Well, she said insignificant. Did y'all
it's
hear
not significant to like your
Did y'all
beliefs.
hear insignificant?
It's not, it has no impact on your belief system.
Okay.
I would say things were different when I went to California.
They don't. Their salvation and their salvific walk is totally different. I do apologize.
I paid more. I felt
I had to fix my lips because she's Californian.
That's what you call it.
I don't know what it. She's from the West Coast too, East Coast, Southern, West Coast. I mean, we got to send her to Canada next. So Canadians, please get ready for the entry of Nicole C. Bailey, right? NCB.
I'm open to any place.
NCB.
Yeah.
Okay, talk to me.
So out there, I just realized it was a little different. And it could just be because I was older and paying more attention. But at our church, like when I mentioned the foster care and adoption, we also did anti-human trafficking. So I was just more involved in more social services. And now that we're talking about this, I can see where the foundation was being laid for me to be where I am now, because I wasn't doing those things growing up. I'm not saying that the church didn't do it, but that congregation was very focused on being community involved. And I was
From that perspective.
Right. And I was in a position to do that. So I was leading our adoption and awareness ministries and at-risk youth ministries. I was out there advocating for human trafficking and putting on awareness events. And that was not my own. That was my friend Arlene who came up with that idea. But I was also around other young adults who had passions, and we had a pastor that was willing to support that and allow us to bring in our congregation to advocate around things that were important to us. So that laid the foundation, I think, for what I'm doing now and what propelled me to go into social work.
It's a lot. Well, y'all, we will be right back after we play a quick commercial. And I picked up social work, adoption agency ministries, human trafficking. All of those are changing. Community advocacy. We'll talk about that because sometimes we do those things informally, whereas it was a formal thing in California, but in the South, it's kind of embedded in culture, whereas we just call it life.
Right.
Another culture says that's a true service. So there's some benefits to both. So I'm not telling anybody to move to California, but if you want to move to California, call her before you move, especially Southern California, right?
I was in Southern.
So we appreciate you being here now. From the north to the south to Southern California, back to the south, back to the north, then back to California, then back. Is that what happened? Something enough. All right, y'all, we'll be right back with Conversations with Cornelius. This show was brought to you by Walker's Cafe and Grill, 109 UN Drive from 12 to 5. This show is brought to you by the Ephesian Primitive Baptist Church, 1506 22nd Avenue North, Nashville, Tennessee. This show is brought to you by Forever Zion. That's www.foreverzion.com. Paparazzi Jewelry for your boo, your bae, your significant, your subordinate, your cousin, and them. Your friend, your enemy, your frenemy. Go to www.foreverzion.com. This show is brought to you by Trifold Outreach Ministries. That's Trifold Outreach Ministries, 49 Dry Creek Road, Goodlettsville, Tennessee. Thank you for our wonderful sponsors. We're back. Oh my God. I wasn't ready for that. Welcome back to Conversations with Cornelius. I am your host, Cornelius. I am with the lovely Nicole Chantel Bailey, the program director at the Magruder, am I saying it correct?
C.E. Magruder Family Resource Center.
Who has MBA and MSW. So we're grateful that she has 2 master's degrees, not to boast nor brag, but to do what she does, it takes more than just heart, it takes head.
It does. And a
lot
team.
of, right. And but a lot of people just have a heart for it, but don't have the head for it. And when you run into those people, which can be transformational and change in perspective, because you have I have the heart for this, Nicole. I want to help everybody. But you really can't help everybody at the level that you want to help everybody, because you will burn yourself out and burn bridges because you are emergent. I'll use academic language. You are emergent in people skills, not proficient, just emergent. You like the way you heard that.
Yes, I heard it.
Yeah, you heard that. So it's like, I want to help the world. Okay. It's a big world to help.
It is.
Listen, let me just say this for everybody who wants to help the world. There's more world than it is you. Period. And if you want to help the world, you can help the world. Just know this: helping the world with the wrong perspective will end up hurting you before you help the world. So, New York, Huntsville, back to New York. New York, Huntsville, California.
We'll go with that. It's a lot. New York, Huntsville for college. After college, I moved to California.
Oh, California.
Came back to New York because I just moved there. Never been. Didn't work out. Came back for a couple of months, maybe like a year and a half.
Like
and
a
then
year
I
and a
moved
half.
to California and
Mhm.
stayed there for years.
My.
So from 2003 to 2015. And then I came back here to
Okay.
Huntsville. And that's when I did my MSW and then moved to Nashville to work at Catholic Charities.
Wonderful. So she's Pauline in her perspective. Can I say that?
Sure.
She has a first missionary journey, a second missionary journey, a third missionary. Are you going before Nero's shopping block
No, I'm
anytime
not.
soon? Are you sure?
I'm processed.
Okay. I'm just saying, shifting to one of our favorites, Paul. And we have these 7 pillars of transformation, and we know change in perspective is one of them.
Mhm.
For Paul, for you, for me, I know we have some questions before us. Where did you see significance in your perspective being changed? In any of those, we talked about the car wreck. Paul has a Damascus, so we can just hang our hats on Paul's Damascus for him. Your Damascus was one of your Damascuses. I guess we have to make that plural. Is that okay?
Yes, I would say like you and I were talking
Lean up
about.
into the mic.
You and I were talking about what happens before that Damascus experience, and not
Uh-huh.
going into a lot of detail because I think we touched on it.
Mhm.
Me working at the church,
Mhm.
Even going further back, I told you watching my grandmother. She was a foster parent, so watching children coming in and out of her home. So watching that, working on different ministries at the church, especially including the foster care and adoption. I think all of those different things led to where I am today. And that car accident just kind of just signified
Was the catalyst.
the catalyst for me saying you need to do what you need to do and not run from this. Because I actually was going to do social work in college and change my mind. Because my mom said, you have to do a master's. And I was like, I don't want to go to college to just have to do a master's. So I
ended up having to get a master's. Miss Diane.
Yeah, I ended up doing it anyway.
Thank you for being prophetic in your daughter's life.
She was.
I know our children, including myself and your lovely daughter, can be sometimes Hittitish, Amoritish, Goliath type-ish. She did not want to receive the prophetic word that you gave her. So in the event you watched the show, kudos.
Yeah.
Thank you, mother, dearest.
Yeah, it came back around. I ended up doing it. But I just think that he was preparing me the entire time for that.
Right.
And I think some of the questions that I would ask our audience are, what kind of things, if you look back on your life, what things have you seen of significance that at the time you didn't even realize that they were significant? It's like you don't even realize that God had been preparing you for something, because when I look back, I see how everything lines up. When I was working at the sheriff's department, I was going to leave to work in another department in the county, and my mentor got me to stay and work in the grants unit. And then I ended up moving to the corrections unit, programs, grant writing. What do I do at the center? These are all things that are important. I was not looking to do those jobs. So I feel like he just directs your path, and you don't always know what it is that he's directing you for, but it is significant. Some of those experiences you have, some of those jobs that you have that you don't think are important at the time, when you get to where it is you're supposed to be and you look back and you can see God's been laying the foundation the entire time. Even though your perspective didn't change that time, but things were leading up to that event, whatever that event might be.
Trust and Obey. That is a song that I do really not know. Do you know the song?
I'm not know.
I didn't ask you to sing it. Trust and Obey. There's no other way.
To be happy in Jesus.
And then to what?
Trust and Obey.
Hey, say you gonna play that before we leave here today? Do you know how to play it?
I guess I would just have to get up there and try.
Okay. Like Paul, like Nicole, you said God kept shifting some things.
Mhm.
And as he was shifting some things, uh, the shift became evident. So, to grant writing, now you oversee grants,
I work with grants. It's a part of, nonprofit work.
right? You do those things. Okay, got you. Because that's what happened. That was your shift in perspective.
Well, yes. I think what's if we go back to Paul, like we were talking about earlier, there were little things that were happening to Paul that Paul may not have even realized were significant,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like observing the stoning of Stephen. He may not have really
Oh, that was significant.
but he may not have conceptualized it
Right.
to the point that he needed to, right?
Mm-hmm.
But subconsciously, it might have impacted him. He knows the scripture. He's seeing this man dying for his belief, even though he was the persecutor.
Who held the coats? It's Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Paul was the coat holder.
Right.
That's
So laying his
significant.
feet. Right.
Oh, he was the coat watcher.
Right.
That's significant. All of those things are significant in the life of Paul. And he later talks about Stephen's execution in some of the, post Damascus experience.
Right.
Which I always say this: you need to learn how to own your story. You don't have to tell your business, but you need to share your story, because your story is always going to sell. And in this marketplace and consumer driven culture, I try to tell people, work on your story, because if you hit a bump in the road, you have that story to fall back upon. And Paul mentioned, he talks about more than once, the Damascus Road. Leading me further into this discussion, we only have like 3 minutes and we have to pick it up next week, that we believe, some scholars, theologians, believe from that Damascus Road experience, because he was blinded for 3 days, his eyesight never fully recovered.
Oh, wow.
And remember, when he gets to the book of Galatians, which is his second missionary journey, he said, you would have plucked out y'all's own eyes and given them to me. Idiomatic, metaphoric, I do not know, but we believe that part of his thorn in the flesh was his eyesight, which came from that Damascus Road experience, which was totally a change / shift in perspective.
Never knew that.
Never knew that?
But always wondered. I hear people say all the time, we don't know what that thorn in his flesh
we
was.
still don't know.
But it's a theory.
That's a theory. A working theory.
I never heard that.
Yeah, but you have read the Bible.
I have.
You've read the book of Galatians. So, that's a wonderful change in perspective, that it was always there. She saw it, but couldn't see it.
Right.
And then boom, boom, boom. Oh, I see that. Now I see why I needed to do what I have done. But starting with grandmother, and grandmother having a ministry, you call it ministry. Grandmama just said, this is what I'm going to do.
Right.
This is my rent that I pay back to humanity. You say it's ministry. Like I said, for her being Southern, her roots were Southern, correct? You just take in family. People need a place to lay their head and eat. That's what we do in the South. When Nicole and Chantel and Dion, their mother and father might be going through something very traumatic, scoot over.
Right.
I don't want them over it. Scoot over. You wake up one morning, here come Nicole, Chantel and Dion out of the back room. Well,
it's a given.
It's a given. That's life for us. Scoot over. Or they're coming home for the summer. Scoot over. So that's cool. But now that's ministry. It's always been ministry, but that's ministry.
That's what you're saying.
You see that now? It's like, well, y'all know, every June, second Sunday in June, second week in June, through the first week of July, through July the 4th, Chantel, Nicole, Dion will be at home. And it's not home for y'all, but it's home where everything started for me. So y'all are coming home. Guess who's in the house? Or guess who's next door? The three. But you call it official ministry, which is fine.
From a church perspective.
Right. Not so much from the family perspective.
Right.
Gotcha. So Paul, Chantel, Dion, Cornelius, Seth, we all understand that now. A different ministry perspective is birthed out of people's perspective. This was your grandmama's perspective. Now knowing that would be your calling.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like it's literally your calling. That's what you do now.
Mm-hmm. So she was an influencer, so to speak, for me growing up without even saying anything. And I think as people think about this before we do the podcast next week, just start analyzing, like in your own life, what are these like seeds that God has been dropping that you might have thought were insignificant, but they've been leading up to something? What are the things that you've been ignoring that might have been like blaring in your face, but you're just like, oh, that's nothing? What are the things that people keep saying, you're really good at that? You really impact me and others when you do X, Y, and Z, but you don't think anything of it.
Right.
Those might be the precursor to what it is that God's calling you to do. Your perspective may not have shifted yet, or maybe it's starting to, but you don't fully understand it. And if you're trying to figure it out, I would probably say, start looking at the things that have been kind of lining up in your life. Right. And that might be where the direction he's taking you.
Gotcha. Hey, y'all, we're not out of talk, but we are out of time. Thank you for tuning into Conversation with Cornelius, with Nicole, Chantel Bailey. Her perspective, has been changing, and she's moving. Her denominational affiliation. I'm joking. She's a daughter of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and we're grateful and thankful to have her as a part of the context and the scope of what we do here on the show. So I know y'all have seen her week after week after week. 4 weeks in a row. Is it 4?
About.
With Dad, with Derek, with Dad, with Derek.
And then we might have done 2 or 3.
Yeah. So this is number 3. One of them still in the cash app.
Yeah.
And then last say, because we haven't dug into Paul, so Paul will have to be our Bible lesson, I guess.
Okay.
When will that take place? Do you have a perspective on that?
Let's do it next week.
Next week. Strictly Bible talk.
Yeah.
You sure you won't deviate, you Egyptian?
Oh my goodness.
You sure you won't have to go around the same mountain?
Next week.
Next week?
Yes.
Well, thank you for tuning in to Conversation with Cornelius. I'm your host, Cornelius. Until next week, peace and blessings.